Hello Days of Our Lives fans, and welcome back to TV Days Drama Digest. Today, we've got a deeply emotional and highly dramatic update on the unfolding relationship saga between Jada Hunter and Rafe Hernandez. Their love story has been one of ups and downs, with numerous obstacles standing in their way. However, in a shocking turn of events, it seems that the end may finally be near for Rafe and Jada. In fact, Days of Our Lives viewers are in for an emotional roller coaster as Rafe confronts his past, makes a stunning confession, and ultimately pushes Jada further away. Will Jada be able to handle the truth, or will this shocking revelation be the final blow to their already fragile relationship? Let's dive deep into the drama that's about to unfold. Jada's struggles. Finding solace in a friend, the emotional toll of her relationship with Rafe has clearly left Jada grappling with a whirlwind of unresolved feelings. After everything that's transpired between them, the trust issues, the misunderstandings, and the final, painful breakup, Jada is in need of support and understanding. As Days of Our Lives fans have seen, Jada recently made the decision to temporarily move in with her friend, Stephanie Johnson. While it might seem like a simple change of scenery, this new living arrangement gives Jada the space she desperately needs to process everything. One of the key moments we're witnessing now is Jada's emotional journey as she opens up to Stephanie. She pours her heart out about Rafe, about their love, their heartbreak, and her lingering feelings. Jada is torn between the man she once loved and the reality of their broken relationship. What's clear is that Jada still has strong feelings for Rafe, but she also knows that something major has shifted between them, something that can't be easily fixed. The pain from their rocky end is still fresh, and Jada doesn't yet have the answers she needs to heal. Rafe's confusion. Will he ever be honest with Jada? Meanwhile, Rafe is in a complicated emotional state of his own. Just when he seems ready to move on from his past with Sami Brady, he finds himself reflecting on the failed relationship with Jada. Having just had an intense conversation with Sami, which stirred up long-buried feelings, Rafe is left wondering where he stands not just with Sami, but with Jada as well. His thoughts are clouded, and his heart is torn between two very different women. The situation becomes even more complicated when Rafe receives a text from Jada asking to meet up and talk. Jada has likely been wrestling with her own emotions and is hoping for some closure. However, given the tension and distrust that have been building between them, Rafe isn't sure what to expect. He doesn't want to lead Jada on, especially after everything that's happened, but he also feels an undeniable pull toward her, which makes his decision even harder. When Rafe arrives to meet Jada, his emotions are written all over his face. He gives her a knowing smile, but there's something guarded about it, something distant. Jada is taken aback, unsure of how to read his reaction. She had no expectation that he would even show up, and now that he's here, she's unsure of what the next step is. Little does she know, Rafe's admission will soon unravel everything they've tried to build together. The blouse incident, a point of contention as the conversation between Jada and Rafe progresses, Jada's world is about to be turned upside down. In a seemingly innocent comment, Rafe casually mentions that he saw Jada's forgotten blouse at Sean Brady's house. For a moment, Jada is left stunned. How could Rafe know about her blouse, and why is he bringing it up now? This seemingly small detail becomes a flashpoint for their fractured relationship. Rafe accuses Jada of sleeping with Sean, the very man with whom she shares a complicated past. His suspicions, which have been simmering for a while, boil over into a harsh accusation. Jada, desperate to defend herself, insists that Rafe has misunderstood the situation. She explains that she had simply stayed at Sean's after a night of drinking, but nothing happened between them. It was a moment of weakness, of bad choices, and she claims it's nothing to be worried about. But Rafe isn't buying it, not anymore. The breaking point. Rafe's shocking confession. Rafe's trust in Jada has already been severely shaken, and now he feels betrayed once again. He's hurt, frustrated, and emotionally exhausted from everything that's happened. Despite Jada's insistence that nothing untoward happened with Sean, Rafe cannot seem to let go of his suspicions. In fact, it's clear that Rafe has made up his mind. He doesn't trust her anymore. It's at this point that Rafe decides to come clean about something that has been weighing on him for far too long. He admits, in a moment of brutal honesty, that he slept with Sami. The confession hits Jada like a ton of bricks. All the emotions that Jada has been trying to keep under control suddenly flood her mind. Sami Brady, her rival, the woman who has always been a thorn in her side, has now crossed the line, and Rafe has been complicit. Jada's heart sinks. How could Rafe do this to her? How could he betray her in such a way, especially after everything they've been through together? It's one thing for Rafe to accuse her of something she didn't do, but to admit that he slept with Sami? That's a betrayal that Jada might never recover from. After hearing Rafe's shocking confession about sleeping with Sami, Jada will undoubtedly be faced with a whirlwind of emotions. She's already been struggling with trust issues and the emotional fallout of their troubled relationship, and this revelation will only intensify her feelings of betrayal. So, what could Jada's next move be after this heart-wrenching moment? 1. Confrontation and emotional outburst. Jada is likely to experience a surge of raw emotion following Rafe's admission. She may demand more answers, wanting to know why Rafe kept this secret from her for so long, especially when their relationship was already in such a fragile state. Her immediate response might be a heated confrontation, where she expresses her anger, hurt, and frustration. Given the history of their relationship, Jada has always been a woman who holds her ground, and this moment could be a breaking point for her. Her emotions will be running high, and she might lash out with words she doesn't mean, blaming Rafe for everything that has gone wrong between them. The emotional release could be cathartic for her, but it also might create an even greater rift between them, making it more difficult for her to ever trust him again. 2. A period of withdrawal and reflection. In the wake of Rafe's confession, Jada might need some time away from him to process everything. Her next move could be to distance herself emotionally and physically from Rafe, taking a step back to assess whether this relationship is worth salvaging. She may retreat into her personal space, possibly leaning on her close friend, Stephanie, for support as she tries to navigate her emotions and decide what to do next. During this time, Jada will likely reflect on everything that has happened between them, questioning whether Rafe's betrayal is something she can ever truly forgive. She might also reevaluate her own feelings for him, wondering if the love she still feels is enough to overcome the deep hurt he has caused. 3. A decision to move on. While Jada still has feelings for Rafe, the betrayal may be too much for her to overcome. At some point, she might come to the painful realization that she cannot continue to be in a relationship with someone she no longer trusts. Jada could decide that it's time to let go of Rafe once and for all, choosing to move on with her life and focus on her own personal growth and happiness. This could lead to her making a bold decision to cut ties with Rafe, regardless of how much she still cares for him. Jada's journey could then turn toward healing, possibly exploring new opportunities and relationships that allow her to rebuild her trust in others. This choice would signify a major turning point in Jada's character arc, as she would be choosing herself over a relationship that has caused her more pain than joy. 4. Seeking closure through a heartfelt conversation. Alternatively, Jada might not want to close the door on her relationship with Rafe without seeking closure. She could confront him one final time to have a heart-to-heart conversation where they both lay everything out on the table. Jada might ask Rafe to explain his actions and express her own pain in hopes of understanding why he did what he did. She may ask him questions about his relationship with Sami, what it meant, how it happened, and why he felt the need to keep it a secret for so long. This conversation could serve as a final chance for both of them to lay their cards on the table and clear the air. Whether or not it leads to reconciliation, it would give Jada the closure she needs to either move forward with Rafe or part ways for good. 5. Focusing on personal growth and independence. Finally, Jada might decide that the best path forward is one of self-care and independence. Instead of dwelling on Rafe's betrayal or obsessing over the broken relationship, she could focus on her own well-being and personal growth. Jada could decide to channel her energy into her career, friendships, and personal life, using this painful experience as a stepping stone to become stronger and more self-reliant. She could immerse herself in new challenges, rediscover her passions, and become more confident in her own abilities. By doing so, Jada could emerge from this dark chapter in her life stronger and more determined to live for herself rather than for someone else. Final thoughts. Jada's next move will depend largely on how deeply she is affected by Rafe's betrayal and how much trust she feels she can rebuild in their relationship. Whether she chooses confrontation, emotional withdrawal, or complete independence, Jada's path forward will be one of healing and growth. Fans will surely be on the edge of their seats as they watch Jada make her decision, knowing that whatever she chooses, it will have major repercussions for both her future and the future of her relationship with Rafe. For Rafe, the situation isn't much better. He knows he's hurt Jada, and the guilt he feels is overwhelming. But at the same time, he's still struggling with his unresolved feelings for Sami, and that emotional conflict only makes matters worse. Will Rafe fight to win back Jada's trust, or is this the final chapter for their relationship? For now, all we know is that this story is far from over. The fallout from Rafe's confession will undoubtedly reverberate throughout Salem, and the emotional repercussions will be felt by everyone involved. Will Jada be able to move on and find happiness again, or will she forever be haunted by the man she once loved? We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe TV Days Drama Digest for more updates on Days of Our Lives.